everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is December 5th and today's video of December, I still don't know what I'm calling this yet, but today's video is all about beginner essential makeup, and I'm gonna go from, I'm gonna have some lower end drugstore options and I'm gonna have slightly higher end products as well, so that for whatever works for you, I got some options. Basically, my best beginner tip is always start with a cleansed, moisturized face and chapstick. Hands down, that's the best advice I could give anybody who's starting out with makeup. A lot of these items are really affordable and things that would make great gifting options because somebody who's really starting to dip their toes into the realm of makeup, they might really appreciate this. So first up is an eyeshadow primer, and this eyeshadow primer is my favorite. It's the only one that I use. I've used a bunch of different ones, but this is the only one that I feel like is worth it. You get a tiny little bit of it and it covers the eye perfectly, and your eyeshadows blend like butter on top of it. Wonderful. It doesn't have a ton of glitter that's chunky in it. It just gives a little shimmer to it, so much so that I often just wear this on its own with a little bit of mascara and I am good to go. I have two face primers that I would recommend for beginners. One would be more drugstore and one is a bit more pricey. The drugstore is the NYX Angel Oil Primer. That is amazing. I love how it lays under every single foundation, and that's the primer that I typically use when I'm trying out a new foundation because I know it doesn't mess up anything that's going on with how the presentation will look of the foundation. That's the best way to describe it. It won't mess up color, it won't mess up texture. Angel Oil Primer is wonderful, and I have sensitive skin, so all the things I'm talking about don't irritate me. This is the higher end version. It's the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I have used almost all of it, honestly. This one has a bit more sheen, the other one is more, I'm gonna use with every foundation. The NYX one is the one that you can use with like any foundation. For eyeshadow palettes, for beginners, I would say something like this from Wet n Wild. This is a really simple, easy to use eyeshadow palette from the drugstore, Wet n Wild. This one is called Walking on Eggshells. It has a brow bone, a crease, and it even tells you this is for the eyelid. It's really affordable and it comes with its own little tools so that if you don't even have any, this is a great place to start. I love this particular one from Wet n Wild. It applies very nicely. Highly recommend. And I have two more levels of eyeshadow palettes. This one is a good one for an everyday wear. This one is the Natural Matte from Too Faced. These are some really great everyday shades that you can wear all the time. It comes with a great mirror and it's a sturdy packaging. I feel like this could make a really great Christmas gift for somebody who's got their toes into makeup and is looking to explore a little bit more beyond the Wet n Wild. And I have to mention this one because this one has some shimmers, it has mattes, it has a little bit more bold colors in it that I feel like you can really start to play with if you're really starting to get into makeup. Like this is level 3, and that's the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, the original. This has some really fun, different bold colors to go with and some shimmers, but it also has your essential mattes that are good for everyday wear, like these colors right here. Love to use those every day. More for the eyes, I would say there's an eyeliner that I would definitely recommend. It is the Wet n Wild Khol eyeliner. This one is called Baby Got Black. That's what this one is. It is a very dark black eyeliner. It's very easy to apply. Actually, I just recommended it to my aunt and she got back to me and said that she ended up picking it up at the store and loves it. So very excited to hear that people are having a fun time with this eyeliner. Last up in the eye category, I wanted to give a shout out to this mascara. Now, I don't have a drugstore option at the moment that's cruelty-free for mascara that I have been like 100% standing behind. This is a really good one. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and if you just get the travel size, it's much more affordable. You can pick them up at like Sephora, like right near the registers, or you can just ask a sales associate. This would make a great stocking stuffer for sure. Similar to the eyeshadows, I have two different levels for concealer, but they both have about the same medium to full coverage. The first is Wet n Wild's Photo Focus Concealer. I love this formula. Both of them you do need to set right away. I don't know why, but they have a very, very similar formula. This one is just drugstore price and this is higher price. They're both cruelty-free though, because like I always am promoting cruelty-free beauty. I didn't even say what this one is yet. This is the Too Faced Born This Way, and I'm obsessed. Both of these have fairly good color selections. I wouldn't say that they're like knocking it out of the park. No one can touch Rihanna at this point. They both have very similar formulations. I would say though that the Born This Way one lasts longer throughout the day than the Wet n Wild. You can apply them with your fingers, but they do come with an applicator. And for beginners, I will tell you this because you might not know it, but you're gonna wanna put the concealer on the back of your hand before you apply it to your face, just because, especially if you're applying it to anywhere that has pimples, because you don't want to put that back in the tube that's liquid. It's just not a good combo. So you can apply it underneath your eyes for concealer, and if you're not applying a ton of it, you might not need to set it really, but I recommend it. And a great setting powder, super affordable, is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. And this one I have really enjoyed because it reminds me so much of the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. You'll need a brush to apply this, so some sort of big tapered brush like this. And this one's from Morphe, which is really affordable, and this is the M438. For the concealer, I would say that you want to apply it and then blend it out with a Real Technique sponge. These are really affordable, and I do know, I think it's LA Girl, but I'll put it up on the screen if it's not LA Girl. I think they make a sponge that's super affordable at the drugstore too. So there's a couple of different options with that for you. Another option for a setting powder that I just currently don't own yet is the RMCA No Color Translucent Setting Powder. I think that's what it's called. But it's really affordable, and I would highly recommend that as well. A bronzer that I'm obsessed with is this Physician Formula Butter Bronzer. It smells tropical. It smells like you're at a beach vacation and you've just applied the best suntan lotion ever. While the butter bronzer from Physician Formula is more geared toward lighter skin tones, there are some Milani bronzers, and there are also some Amore bronzers that work better for darker skin tones. I have 3 different foundations that I wanted to share with you. The first, obviously, is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. Now, Wet n Wild is a cruelty-free brand that I'm obsessed with lately. This one, I'm pretty sure I did a full review on this foundation, and you can find it in the description below, so you can get more info on it there. They don't have a huge range of colors, which is kind of a bummer, but I will say this particular range from H&M has quite a few more. Obviously, no one can even touch Fenty Beauty, and her product is only $34, so that's really reasonable. So if you need a darker skin tone, just go straight to Fenty Beauty, and if you have dry skin, just get some great moisturizer up on your face, and you're ready to go. But anyway, let's just hop into the H&M one. Honestly, I didn't think that, I didn't even know H&M made makeup at all. But yeah, they do. And this is the Flawless Finish All Day Liquid Foundation. And I have 3 different shades of it, and I really like it a lot. This is kind of like a moisturizer, and I wanted to mention this one especially in a beginner's video because it has a pump and you can apply it with your fingers, which makes everything so much easier. And it has, I'd say, medium coverage, but it's more like light to medium, but not light. It's not sheer. I do like this one a lot, and I highly recommend this one to people with dry skin. But it would be all right for people with oily skin if you set it with that Wet n Wild powder. You know what I'm saying? For lips, I have a ton of options, and all of these companies have a lot of different color ranges. I'm just going to talk about some of the nudes that I have that I particularly have found work really well. So this one from Milani is really great. This is in the shade Adorable. I'm just going to swatch it on the back of my hand for you guys so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. It's really pretty, it's very liquidy, and then it dries matte. But it smells really good. It smells like vanilla cupcakes. Oh, so good. A great option for lipsticks for beginners is ColourPop. They're super affordable, all about $5, and I will leave the link to the video I did where I tried out a ton of the different liners and lippy sticks. But the ones that I recommend for nudes are Brink and Cookie, and I also have the lip liners in BFF, and I also have it in Chai. I think those are some really good neutrals that would go well with for a lot of people. A little bit more expensive than that would be the Kylie Cosmetics, and you can get her lip kits often around the holidays. She'll have different sales going on, you know, buy one get one free, or I don't know exactly what, but she always seems to have some sort of promotion sometimes. So if you watch out for those sales, they're definitely much more affordable, and they're really great quality. Some people will say that they're drying on the lips, but I will tell anyone who's ever wearing any kind of matte liquid lipstick, you have to put a chapstick on first, let it dry a bit or pat it off, and then apply a lip liner, and then apply your lipstick, and you're good to go for the whole day, okay? Soapbox done. The nudes that I particularly really like from Kylie are Dulce K and Coco K. The Coco K is a lot more pink, and this one is a lot more neutral. And I also have the lip liners to match. Lip glosses are the last category. I don't have one of them, which is a ColourPop lip gloss, and now they're pretty darn good for not being super gloopy, and they're cruelty-free. Two other options I have for you are a Kylie lip gloss. This one is in the shade So Cute, but she has another one that's more of like almost a complete sheer, which is really good too, and that would work on top of like anybody's skin tone because it's clear. This one is good for lighter skin tones. And then this one I really like. I think this would go well from like light to medium skin tones, and it's called the shade is called Power Player, and it's from the Loon and Aster line. And I'd never heard of this before, but I actually went into a Blue Mercury beauty store, and that's where I found it. And the lady told me that they're cruelty-free, and I really like it. The packaging's cute. I just realized in this lighting that it has a little bit of purple to it, which is nice. I'll put this one on the back of my hand too, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It has a very good ratio of pigment to product, so you don't have to put a ton on to get a little something something going. The Loon and Aster one is a little bit sticky, but it lasted all day. It worked for me, and I didn't even have to touch it up. But if I had eaten or something, obviously a lip gloss, you're gonna want to touch it up. Oh wait, I have one more thing that I want to recommend quickly. A couple of brushes that are really great for application. Wet n Wild, they make really affordable, really soft brushes to the point where I exclusively pretty much use these on my eyes for blending because they don't scratch my eyelid, and they're amazing. And they're like $1 each or something, ridiculously easily priced. For foundations, I would also recommend like a dense Real Techniques brush, but if you don't have access to that, you can always order Morphe online. Now, I would say the 439 is one of my favorite liquid foundation blending brushes, and my other favorite liquid foundation brush is from Morphe, and it's the flat one, and it's called E31. This one is better for really, really liquidy foundations, and this one's better for thicker foundations. I don't think I said that right to begin with. Thicker foundations, liquidier foundations. And this one you want to kind of dab and press it into the skin a little bit more, and this one you want to dab and kind of buff in a little bit more. So that's the difference between these two brushes. But if you can find any of the Wet n Wild brushes that are similar, that are dense, these are great for applying liquid foundations. And that is all for my beginner essential makeup video for you guys. I could do another video solely about makeup brushes if you would like. That one I would not necessarily say is best for beginners, but I could do like what I recommend for like people who are like really getting into makeup, like what I would say are my hands-on favorite kinds of makeup brushes. And I will see you all tomorrow in my next video. Have a great day. Bye. Like I feel like this would make a really great